Welcome to That Game Show, the awkward, inappropriate, random podcast that occasionally talks about games.
What's up, guys? This is That Game Show. Oh, we're not allowed to do it? I thought we agreed I could do it this time.
No, we've never agreed that you would ever intro a show at all. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to That Game Show. Oh, okay. You want me to liven up a little bit?
Yeah, give us some spice.
Okay, I'll give you some spice.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to That Game Show. I am Chase Bunker, joined alongside, as always, is Kyle Helmstetter. Kyle, how are you?
Oh my God!
I see you remembered the soundboard this time.
I have, and it's spiced up.
Oh,
I got nitro now.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No!
I got several different servers worth of stuff to play.
Oh, no!
Let's see, do I have that? Hold up.
Let's see.
No, I got that though.
You got, like, SpongeBob theme song music, what it sounds like.
I got that.
Still got that.
What's
the origin? What's the origin of that sound? Like, was that just a guy sneezing? Or a guy snoring, excuse me?
I don't really know, honestly. For the first time ever, I didn't even know this. I found out that the cat that goes, huh, is from a house. And I was like, wow, huh.
Wait, house as in the Japanese horror movie? Or
No.
house as in the Hugh Laurie TV show?
I have no idea who Hugh Laurie is, but it's from the medical documentary.
Okay,
Not
yes.
documentary, the show.
Yes, okay, the Hugh Laurie Fox show. Okay, excellent.
Whoever that is.
Okay.
Whoever that is.
Excellent contribution by you, as always.
Who the hell is Hugh Laurie?
He's an actor, which, by the way, do you know that he's actually British?
I don't even know who he is.
No, the guy that plays House.
Oh, I've never seen the show. That's kind of the problem. That's why I didn't know that it was from the show. Otherwise, I would have known that. Makes sense, huh? Mm-hmm.
Starting off great. First,
That's fine.
you just bombard the intro.
I was helping.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you.
I was helping.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. We got lots to talk about. Summer Game Fest happened over the weekend or last week. I don't know when I'm going to edit this. But first, Kyle, I want to ask you this.
Yes.
Are you a big game show guy?
I'm part of this one thing. Maybe you've heard of it. It's kind of big, but That Game Show.
Okay,
So,
not what I'm
you tell
talking
me.
about. Okay. Are you somebody who likes watching clips of game shows? Not our podcast, but of actual
Glad to
game
start with
shows.
that. Of actual, somewhat, I'll say.
Somewhat? Okay.
Yeah, I borrow material from them all the time.
Okay. And so I ask this because I like watching game shows. I love Family Feud. Obviously, I've been watching Price is Right for years. Every time when you're sick, you have to watch Price is Right. It's almost, rule of law. And so I'm at work and we have CBS up on the TVs. And I look up and I saw this thing live, which has to be the best, most impressive moment I've ever seen in game show history. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you've seen this.
Yes.
Okay. So are you familiar on The Price is Right with the Showcase Showdown?
Yes.
Okay. It sounds like you don't. So pretty much at the end, it's down to two contestants. One contestant gets this like little package thing, and it's going to be like, hey, you can get a new grill set. You're also going to get patio furniture and also this trip to Lake Tahoe. And they have to guess what the price is, and they get player 2 comes in and they have their own little package set. And they have to guess what it is. And whoever's the closest without going over, they get the prize.
I see.
So this guy had a set. And normally, with any pricing game, you look out to the audience, you try to get help. It's like, 30-something thousand. This guy had zero help and just goes 39,500. And I'm just like, oh, that's wrong. Because I'm usually of the mindset of if it's anywhere near 40,000, you're probably going to go over.
Okay.
The host, Drew Carey, pulls out the card and just looks at it and then takes a step back of like almost borderline shock that this is happening. Mind you, also another caveat, if you're within $250, you'll win both prices.
Mm.
The man was off by $1.
Wow.
The man somehow, with zero help, was $1 off. And I thought that was like, my jaw just dropped. And I just look at it. And I'm in the newsroom. And I'm just like, how the hell does that happen? And everyone's like, what happened? I'm like, it's a Price is Right thing. The moment's already passed. It was probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen in game show history.
It's a lot of history.
It is a lot of history. I've watched a lot of game shows. I often thought that I could be a fairly decent game show host.
Is that why that game show is existing?
No, that game show is existing because I wanted to make a gaming podcast and I had to think of a clever name, and I'm not really creative. Though Greg Miller likes the name, believe it or not.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that's kind of surprising. Like when I talked with him for Orlando's Morning News, I told him about the podcast and he goes, "That's a great name." I'm like, "Thank you, Greg." And yeah, that was it. Yeah, friend of the show. Even though we've been trying to get, he's been trying to get on for about 2 years. Him and I've been working on it, and it's just time, and it just sucks. It's frustrating. It's like also
that does happen.
Yeah, because you know, who would have thought when you run a giant gaming channel, you don't have time to do things.
Wait, which one of us is running the giant gaming thing?
He's running the giant gaming thing. We are not, no, we're not. We are not even close.
Listen, I was hoping.
No, unfortunately, we are not. The one thing also I've wondered is like, I'm trying to think of like which game shows I would want to host, and I realized like I can't do Family Feud. Not after Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, top tier. You can't beat him. I got to be the guy that replaces the guy. Don't want to do that. And then I also realized maybe Who Wants to Be a Millionaire if they decide to bring that back. I can't because I realized I would do so much front loading if I actually knew the question. It's like, it's either A, B, C, or D. Yeah. Like I would, you can't do that. And I feel like I'd have to do so much suppression. It's like, if God forbid you choose the wrong answer, it's like, are you sure? Are you sure you think a surge protector protects something from water? Are you sure?
Checks out.
You positive? Like, okay. Like, that's what I would be. I would be the worst Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game show host. What? What's with that snort?
No.
No, you've got something.
No, you're great. No. No. 2 thumbs up.
Okay. That's not
1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up.
That's not reassuring. That is not reassuring.
I feel reassured.
Okay. I'm glad you do. If you're watching us on YouTube, you saw Kyle give up 2 thumbs
up.
Yep, give 2 thumbs up. If you listen to us on podcast, feel free to like us on YouTube, youtube.com/thatgameshow, so you can watch the video portion of it where Kyle makes a little bit more faces. You can see some of the soundboard clips that he does because they actually have faces on it.
Do they?
Well, yes, some of them do. I don't know about the new ones.
That's not a face. That's not a face at all.
No, it's not.
I told you, I got some gems in here, man. We're cooking. We're cooking with kitchen grease. I have that one labeled in my soundbar as for when you're thinking really hard. And sometimes I forget what it is, and I'll be like, what am I thinking about? And I'll click on it, and I'll remember. I'm like, oh, I wasn't thinking at all. That's kind of the issue.
I have...
So aggressive.
It's so aggressive. I have the sense of humor of a 5-year-old.
I mean, clearly I do as well, because I put it on there.
I will, and my wife will know this too. If I'm just giggling, like if it gets high pitched and it's to the point where I just can't breathe and I start tearing up, it's because more than likely it was a fart joke or somebody farted on camera. What was it? I just saw a video. It was just a compilation of people just going, cover your farts. I got a cough. and he's like
Oh,
cough,
I know
and then
exactly what video you're talking about.
and it would be like the wettest like cheek slapping fart ever.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh, that sentence is just not good.
it's not like it can't be
Ugh.
healthy, but it's that and like there is there's a baseball player. He plays for the Seattle Mariners. His name is Cal Raleigh. His nickname, I am not kidding, is Big Dumper. And so whenever I either see it in text or whenever I hear someone like say that, I immediately giggle like a 5-year-old because again, I have the sense of humor of a 5-year-old. The
I mean,
moral
hey, I respect it.
the moral of the story, kids, is no matter how old you get, you will never be too old for a good fart joke.
That is something I could see on a fortune cookie, and I wholeheartedly I agree.
I can't wait. Like that would be great with like just some random fortune cookies. Like, oh, what does yours say? Kindness is always the best virtue. What about you? You're never too old for a good fart joke.
Chase Bunker.
Kyle, is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I do.
What's
I've
that?
been thinking long and hard about this.
That's not good.
And I think it's I just want to say
Kyle Helmstetter.
Ah,
that's it.
you found the
That's all I got.
soundboard. You
That's all I got.
you remembered the soundboard, didn't you?
I did remember the soundboard.
Ah, crap.
I've
God help us.
manifested. I've got 16 sounds ready to go at any given time.
Oh.
You'll never know which sound it's going to be, but I got 16 of them.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So that's something to look forward to in the next episode. All
Bingo,
right.
bingo.
This is that game show.
I'm going to do my best to hold myself together because during the break, Kyle just unloaded his soundboard upon me. And there was just so many fart noises that we ended up just like having to pause for like 10 minutes because I just couldn't keep it together. Because again, humor of a 5-year-old. Anyway, Kyle, Summer Game Fest happened over the weekend, or Summer Games Fest for people who just like to add S's to things. This year, I thought was actually really good. I thought there was a lot of strengths in there. So first off, I want to start off with you. What stood out to you the most?
Well, if you watch our last episode, we kind of touched on it a little bit because we were up with the times. We're cool kids,
Mm-hmm.
hitting with it. But that being said, some things that I thought stood out. There were a few days that I was bored. I was lulled. Some of the good ones though, I was kind of like, wow, this is hot. I liked the Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes.
Thought that was a good one.
Yes.
Civ 7. I mean, I love Civ. So okay, I gotta also say though, did we really actually get anything for Civ 7, or did we just get like a very animated teaser that has nothing at all included with it?
Yeah, that's what you got. Like, here's the thing. You got excited for that. I got excited for the Prince of Persia remake, which was literally a thing that said Prince of Persia Sands of Time 2026. And so I got excited about that. They literally showed nothing, but they at least showed me something. Anyway, you can continue.
Thanks. So that was kind of like, I feel like I shouldn't have been impressed by it, but I kind of was. We talked a little bit about it, the Wukong, the Black Myth Wukong.
Could be.
It's something. It could be. It looks really good. What else was there? I had a little list here. What else was there? I think there wasn't anything else that really like blew me away. There was Killer Bean I liked. Like, I liked the animation style of it. I thought it looked pretty looks funny.
That looks surprisingly entertaining.
Yeah, it looks like a good time. I could enjoy that game. I liked what we got with the Dune Awakening.
Yes.
I like that. Some of the DLCs and extra seasons we got for things were kind of interesting. Like I know you're gonna talk more about it, but the Alan Wake introduction DLC was pretty solid. Was not disappointed with that. I don't play Honkai Star Rail, but I do think that the patch that they teased was actually it didn't look too bad.
Which game?
I don't know much about it. Honkai Star Rail.
Okay,
Don't know much about it. I think it's a gacha game.
I think it is.
Um,
I could be mistaken.
I also could be mistaken. I liked that we continue to see party animals. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
Skate looked not bad. So man, Pal World I played a little bit I played a lot of it when it came out 1st, and then I was like, yeah, I don't, I'm not really super into it otherwise, so I haven't really played it since. And then I see that we got it coming back, and I'm like, let's go,
Yeah.
let's go.
Mhm.
So that's pretty exciting. I never played Valorant much, so I didn't really have much to say about that.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds does look fire still.
Yeah.
Still on board with it.
Mhm.
That was the big stuff to me that really got me. South of Midnight looked pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark looked pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um, I have to say this as a massive Dragon Age fan. I have been back and forth with the Dragon Age series after playing Inquisition. I was kind of like hit or miss. I liked Inquisition for a lot of reasons, but then there were things that I thought were weaker than the other two games that were prior to it. So when at the time Dreadwolf had been announced, I was like, we'll see what we get. They changed the name. I don't care about that.
Mhm.
Changed it to Veilguard. It looked pretty good though. I actually liked what I saw. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, maybe I am excited for this actually.
Yeah,
So
Veilguard. I'm not a fan of the name change just because I'm not a fan of Dragon Age the Veilguard because I thought Dreadwolf just sounded like a better name. But like that's just for like I feel like for marketing purposes, I felt like Dreadwolf was a better name also because you've been riding with Dreadwolf for the past few years.
yes, I hear you on that. I've never been a massive like stickler for Dreadwolf in terms of like it sounds really cool, but is it applicable in terms of some of the stuff that's been going on? And I'm like, that. So that's kind of why I was like, the name change means nothing to me.
Okay.
But it looks good though. From what I can see, the characters actually look good, which was a kind of a thing for me that I didn't love too much about Inquisition. Some of the characters just they didn't really hit the same way as the previous games had. So that's a huge step in the right direction, I think, for me actually being like excited about this game. Um, I would say that's the big stuff. I've never really played Assassin's Creed. I know that that was a big thing that did get teased.
Mhm.
I've never been an Assassin's Creed guy, so it was kind of like okay,
I'm curious about it. I got into it late. Like I started getting into it with Odyssey and then I played Valhalla and I just got Mirage and so I'll try that when I'm done with like, catching up with my backlog and all that. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like I don't want to say like the only samurai game I can really compare it to is Ghost of Tsushima. And so like immediately like I am jumping to the comparison, but I have a feeling they're just gonna be two separate games, and so I need to make sure that I don't do that because I feel like that would just like ruin a good game.
I recommend yes. I think the Ghost of Tsushima is going to be I think it's going to hold down what it does well, and
Yeah.
that makes it so that comparing it will just be I want to call it a waste of time, but it's going to hurt.
Yeah. I thought that this was a really good summer game fest. A lot of things stood out to me. One was Xbox had one of its best conferences, I think, in a very, very, very long time. They needed a strong conference, especially coming off of the bad publicity where they closed down 4 studios. And let's be honest, like, I was also expecting them to say, hey, along with us showing off these great games, here's also 3 companies that we just bought. By the way, by the end of this presentation, one of you is going to get shut down. Like I was just expecting that. Like I didn't think that like they just haven't had a good publicity run lately. And I thought this was just a really good start. They showed Doom the Dark Ages, which looks absolutely incredible. Indiana Jones looks amazing. Like I want to get to that. Gears of War E-Day, that got excited. You had
Oh yeah,
Diablo.
Here's a worry day. Completely forgot.
Yeah, Gears of War E-Day caught me off guard. That looks really good.
It does look really
Diablo
good.
4 expansion. Man, what a brutal trailer that was. I thought the Fable trailer was great. Perfect Dark got me excited. The one downfall for me, and I agree with Paris Lilly on this, who's also a fellow Bucks fan. Good on you. When he says, we need another Banjo-Kazooie entry. And I feel like this would have been the perfect like cherry on top for a great conference is just like a simple graphic that just says Banjo 3E or 4E, depending on if you want to include nuts and bolts or not.
Big nuts and bolts kind of guy.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts.
A lot of people don't like Banjo-Kazooie nuts.
Don't know what to make of that statement. Excellent. Thank you.
I'll leave you to interpret what I mean by that.
All right. Great. Some others, I thought Mecha Break looked really cool. I didn't think that, well, like we needed Lego Horizon Adventures. Like I didn't think this was something that people
Yeah,
really wanted, but it's like, okay, cool. This is going to be a thing.
we got it.
You mentioned Star Wars Outlaws. That's kind of like it's scratching my Uncharted itch in a way because it has a good Uncharted feel to it. Batman Arkham Shadow looked good, but there was a moment that I just couldn't help but laugh when they just go Batman Arkham Shadow available for VR, and you just hear, oh, there's like
Just when we
nobody
need
wants it.
another disappointing type style approach when we
Yeah,
just continue to get
Mm.
weird movies and things like that. Let's
You
keep it going, right? Get the game industry on it.
Ubisoft had an okay showing. They
Yeah.
showed off a lot more of Assassin's Creed Shadows, like we talked about earlier. They showed off at least the announcement of the Prince of Persia Lost Crown DLC, which, by the way, if you've never played it before, it's really good. I enjoyed it, so I'm excited about that. They again showed the Alan Wake, or excuse me, the Prince of Persia remake that's going to be announced. It was just a clip. I'm surprised we didn't see anything about Splinter Cell because we know that there's something going to be made, but like you would have thought with Ubisoft, where they just love beating you to death with all these franchises, that we would have at least gotten just a simple like the night vision goggles lighting up Splinter Cell remake 2026 or something like that. Like it could have been just simple as that and go boom, done, great conference. But instead, like you haven't done much. And then to wrap up what you mentioned earlier, Alan Wake 2's DLC. The trailer was really good. I had to yell at my wife because I had to watch it on my phone, and she called me right when Sam Lake, the creative director, was coming on, and I don't think I made any coherent sentence. I just said, or at least what I thought I said was, Alan Wake DLC, call you back, love you, and then I closed it. But apparently, what she heard was, Alan Wake DLC, love you, and that was it. That's exactly it. So I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer at least 5 more times after that. I was really amped to see it come out the next day. I played the crap out of it, finished it. It's not long, but it's still really good.
You know what game that I saw that I was like, I can't believe this looks like it came out back in the 2008-9 region.
What's that?
I feel like I'm gonna get hate for this. It's gotta be Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Just look terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also because like I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so I have no like skin in that game, but it does kind of have like this like borderline Fortnite look to it in a way.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You know what? That is a good way of putting it. It just doesn't. I don't know. The style that they approached with it was just very uninspiring, and I get it why they're trying to bring it back. Like, go for it, right? You made a lot of money, you made a lot of attention off of the other game that they released, but I don't know. Just it did not look good.
No, it didn't. I mean, it could be really fun and all that, but just like style wise, I wasn't exactly blown away by it. Like, and I don't mind, you know, I don't need like fancy graphics. I just want something to catch my eye, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay, not for me, but
Yeah, I
oh
was
well.
just kind of like, oh, all right, I guess we're getting this.
Yeah.
a
Unlike
thing.
Battle Aces, where I was like, oh wow, this looks legit, and then they go, it's an RTS. It's like, ah, crap. That was fun.
Oh,
While it
is it
lasted.
really?
What was that?
I was really hyped for a second, but then I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, excellent.
I'm just
Thank
trying
you.
to be. I'm just trying to be really excited.
Yeah, are you excited though?
for that, no,
Yeah. Okay.
no, no,
But
not
I
for
think
that.
we both agree that Xbox won the day.
I would say Xbox did win the day.
Yeah. I
They needed
agree.
it. They didn't shut down any companies. That's huge. Seriously, big for them.
Yeah.
That's big.
The IGN interview afterward wasn't exactly the greatest, where they had
Yeah.
Phil Spencer on and they're like, "Hey, like what's the situation with you guys closing all these companies?" And he just gave like the most like political answer ever of we're going to be focusing on all the games coming out this year. It's like that didn't answer anything.
Like, he's like, we didn't do that. That was somebody else.
Yeah.
You watch your mouth.
Yeah, that part wasn't good. But everything else that they did, they added Banjo Kazooie. I would have been like, bam, like number one with a bullet. Like, and I'm saying this also as a Sony and Nintendo guy. Like, I think Xbox did a
Yeah.
really good job, especially when they really need it.
I mean, also a big part of it ends up coming out to be like, let's be real, they kind of have that flexibility now with Game Pass that connects with PC where they can just take shots now downfield and see which one sticks. Because let's be real, like 5 or 6 of these big titles are already being told on Game Pass they're releasing for free if you have
Yeah.
Game. I mean, come on, like where do you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
If you sit there and say, "Oh, it's a terrible game, it sucks," okay, well you got it for free, and you have no reason to even complain at that point. Really, you just uninstall it.
Yeah,
And they,
exactly.
dude, I feel like they know this.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with the future with Game Pass because I mean, it just can't be sustainable when you like put out like let's be honest. Like let me pull up that Xbox graphic. Um you have Fable, Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, Gears of War E-Day, Doom, Perfect Dark. Like all of these and you're going to say I think a lot of them are going to be day 1. I could be mistaken. But just the fact that you have all these titles that are going to be
Yeah.
on Game Pass day 1, how are you making money? And if that is true, like is this like almost like a movie theater where you are spending $70 and like 60 of that is just pure profit? Similar to like concessions at a movie theater where it's like you're spending $8 for a large popcorn and they're making back like 6 in profit.
So I think part of it is like yes and no. As in, yes, some of this makes mad profit. Other parts are straight up no. But the ones you'll notice a lot of times are they like Call of Duty 6 got placed on the Game Pass coming out for day 1 release. But you know what they're gonna make all their money off of? People that go and buy cosmetics, because they will.
Yes.
The people that are at this point playing Call of Duty, which is it's a very large subset of people, they will buy cosmetics because they will start releasing a ton of play to win features on there that people will buy. That alone, money.
I don't
like,
know if they'll do
money.
play to win, but they'll definitely do a lot of cosmetics that people are going to want to get.
It
Like-
kind of is played. Some of those things are played. Like this, some of the skins are low key play to wins because you can barely see them in certain maps. Like they're kind of annoying.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to we'll see about that because I don't know the history of to whether or not it's the previous Call of Duty entries have been on Game Pass day 1. And
They have.
I don't
but
think they
could
have
be
either.
wrong.
But I'm not a big Xbox guy, so I can't say for certain. But I definitely know that this is going to be on Game Pass, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and so I'm really
Mhm.
curious what the sales are going to look like, what's the revenue going to look like, and all that. And because if you're doing this with Game Pass, with one of the biggest franchises in gaming, how is this going to affect your bottom line? And that's when I think you're going to start seeing this renovation, so to say, when it comes to Game Pass.
It almost puts you in a position where if you're a game company, you almost kind of push the Game Pass to be like, hey, if this gets people to buy or at least play it, and it really forces the in-game currencies to continue to be a thing because that's where you're gonna start making your money at, right?
Well, I think also that's like it's such a weird business, man. Just because like
Mm.
even when you succeed, you still get shut down, like just like Tango Gameworks, or like it's you saw like the exclusivity deals when it came to Epic Games, and that didn't work really, so to say, but it did help companies kind of like get the first few, kind of like get them to the next step of possibly adding more content, making another one, and all that. And also, I think it was Pirate Software that said it. The good thing about the exclusivity deal is that it gives people time for them to work out the kinks, so that when that deal ends and it goes to Steam, they're already getting a good game. Or a more polished game, I should say.
That is true. And then you are also seeing some of these rebound effects where it's like, I think the biggest one that I would think of, which is this is not a small game, so let me just lead with that. But we're seeing that big takeoff with Fallout 76, right? After the big successes they had and all the patches they finally pushed out, got the game to like a really good spot. Now you're kind of seeing that transition of gaming where it's like people are going back and they're like, well, this game is crazy. And you're like, well, yeah, that's what happens when you refine something. You kind of wish they'd done it in like an alpha state where it was at least announced that, hey, the game's not going to be that good in the beginning. Sorry about that. We're working them out. But for games that come out on consoles, you don't have the luxury, I feel like, to be able to declare alpha is what you're at. You're just kind of like, hey, game's released. We're going to update it, hopefully, if we make it that long.
They were doing that with Redfall before Arcane Austin got shut down. They were working on like improving it, and I heard it got a lot better. And it just sucks now that we don't get what they truly envisioned. First off, it sucks that the game had a bad release, but it sucks even more that like they were still working on it. They didn't give up on it, and now we won't see the end result, unlike what we saw with Cyberpunk.
Yes, I will say I feel like Cyberpunk, I don't want to, well, they definitely didn't do it the right way. But I feel like they did get the word out faster and better than what I feel Redfall's team did. Cyberpunk made it very vocal. They were like, hey guys, we are working on this. Like, we are really working on this. And I didn't go back for a while. I mean, it took me a minute to go back to that game. Mostly because I was like, there's no way. This can't, no way. But hey, they did get it to a place where when I played it the first time, really played it, I was like, wow, it's not bad. I almost believe this is a whole different game.
Nice. Yeah, I needed to play it. One of my big regrets was seeing it for $5.99 at Best Buy for PS4, and I thought about buying it just to invest in the future for the PS5 upgrade, and I just didn't pull the trigger on it. I was like, nah, I'm not. There's no point to this. And they fixed it. They fixed all of it.
They got it cooking.
They did. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here on That Game Show. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can. You can follow me on Twitter at That Game Show. You can follow Kyle on Instagram at Scandinavian_sensations. All the music you heard on today's show is brought to you by the band Power Glove. For music, tour dates, and merch, visit powergloveband.com. If you want to check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/thatgameshow, where you can see me hysterically laugh over fart noises because, again, I have the humor of a 5-year-old. Kyle, anything else you want to add before you head out?
Just that.
Thank you for doing that.
Nothing else.
All right. I've been Chase Bunker. He's Kyle Humstetter. Thank you all for watching or listening. We'll talk to you all in the next episode.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you check out more episodes on iTunes and on our YouTube page, youtube.com/thatgameshow. And follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/thatgameshow.